Welcome back to my channel. Some secrets are buried so deep they whisper from the shadows. Others are locked behind steel doors until the day they finally break free. And today, that day has arrived. The truth about the Brown family is no longer hiding. It's stepping straight into the light of justice. Under a restless October sky, the courthouse loomed, ancient, heavy, as though it could feel the storm about to rage within its walls. Outside, chaos swirled. Fans of sister wives, reporters clutching microphones, and curious onlookers pressed against the steps, all hungry for a glimpse of the family that had once captured America's heart. At exactly 10 o'clock, the heavy doors creaked open. Cody Brown emerged first. His smile looked forced, his pride trembling. The expensive navy suit couldn't hide the tension wrapped around his frame. Behind him came Mary, face tight with fury and resolve, her steps steady but her jaw set like stone. Janelle followed, calm, eyes down, quiet strength radiating from every motion. Christine's stride was sharp, almost defiant. You could feel years of heartbreak and resilience in every step. And then came Robyn, her designer purse clutched like a shield, eyes darting, searching for escape. The world thought they knew this family, loving, complex, united by faith. But today, that illusion would shatter. Inside, silence reigned. Even the usual courtroom murmurs faded as if the walls themselves held their breath. The judge, a woman known for her sharp mind and colder mercy, waited at the bench. When she brought the gavel down, the sound echoed like thunder. Court is now in session for the case of Brown versus Brown, the estate of Cody Brown. The audience froze. A family suing itself, this wasn't just a legal battle. It was an autopsy of trust. Cody's attorney stood, a man too polished for the chaos to come. He held an envelope sealed in blood-red wax. "Your Honor," he began, "this is the final will and testament of Cody Brown." Gasps rippled through the benches. The seal broke with a faint crack, and as the lawyer read, his voice trembled. "All financial accounts, properties, and records must be disclosed in full. Any attempt to conceal assets will result in total forfeiture of inheritance." The courtroom erupted in whispers. For a moment, no one breathed. Because that clause changed everything. To claim a share, they'd have to expose every secret. Mary's voice cut through the air, low but razor sharp. "You said there was nothing to hide, Cody." Cody didn't answer. His jaw clenched, his eyes avoiding hers. Christine leaned forward, fury rising. "Is that why you tried to silence us?" she asked, just loud enough for the microphones to catch. The judge slammed her gavel again. "Order." Her gaze was ice. Every truth will come out, one way or another. And then, the bombshell. The family's longtime accountant, an older woman with silver hair and steady eyes, stood up. "Your Honor," she said, voice trembling with righteous conviction. "There are discrepancies in the books. Large withdrawals, unaccounted funds, traced to private accounts under the names of Cody Brown. And Robyn Brown." The room exploded. Cameras clicked. Reporters shouted. Robyn's hands shook. "No, that's not true," she stammered. "Cody, tell them." But Cody said nothing. His silence was an admission louder than words. Christine stood, trembling but resolute. "I demand a full audit. Every cent, every account. We deserve to know what happened to our family's future." Janelle nodded in agreement. The judge scribbled briskly on her notepad. "So ordered," she said. "Any party found concealing information will face charges of fraud and loss of inheritance." A gasp, then silence. Mary's voice cracked. "We trusted you, Cody. We built this family together." For the first time, Cody looked small, swallowed by the truth. Robyn reached for his hand, but he pulled away. And then, the final twist. A court clerk entered with a sealed envelope. "Your Honor, this was delivered anonymously." The judge read it silently, her eyes widening with each line. "There's evidence of another account," she said finally, in a child's name, funded by withdrawals from the family's estate. Every head turned toward the Brown children at the back. Cody jumped to his feet. "No! That's impossible!" But fear cracked his voice. The judge raised her hand. "We will uncover every secret. Nothing will remain hidden." As her gavel struck once more, the message was clear. This wasn't just a case about money. It was a reckoning. A family empire built on secrecy was collapsing in real time. Outside, reporters screamed for statements. Inside, the Browns sat frozen in disbelief, each one realizing that the truth had turned on them. Today, the will wasn't just opened. It was weaponized. And as the courthouse clock struck noon, one thing became undeniable. The Brown family's story wasn't ending in love. It was ending in exposure. It was ending in exposure. The air inside that courtroom was thick enough to choke on, heavy with the smell of leather, candle wax, and history. The will lay open like something alive, its parchment breathing secrets no one was ready to face. Cameras flashed. Every blink, every twitch, every tremor was captured forever. Mary sat rigid, cold, unreadable. Janelle scribbled notes with trembling hands. Christine stared straight ahead, heartbreaking yet unflinching. And Robyn, she couldn't stop fidgeting, eyes darting like a trapped bird. Cody tried to look in control, but the sweat glistening on his forehead betrayed him. The judge's voice sliced through the silence like a sword. The will states no property shall be divided, no inheritance distributed, until every account, every asset, and every debt is revealed. Concealment will result in total forfeiture. The gavel fell, final, foreboding. Cody's jaw tightened, but his eyes wavered. He knew this was the beginning of his unraveling. Then Christine rose. "Your Honor," she said, her voice trembling but resolute. "If we're truly bringing everything into the light, I have something to submit." A hush fell over the room as she reached for her locked briefcase. The metallic click of the latch echoed like a gunshot. From within, she pulled out stacks of papers, bank statements, wire receipts, handwritten notes, each one a relic of betrayal. "These," Christine said, her voice cracking, "are records of 10 years of transactions. Vacations that never happened. Checks for business that didn't exist. Gifts and jewelry I never saw." Robyn flinched. "That's private. You're tearing through our lives." But the judge's glare froze her mid-sentence. "Mrs. Brown," she said icily, "privacy ends where deception begins." Christine turned to Cody. "I asked you about those trips. You said it was for the family, that we had to trust you." Her voice wavered, then hardened. "But every time I dug deeper, there was more you never told us." Mary leaned forward, her tone cutting. "We all knew, Christine. We just didn't want to admit it." Outside, the world was watching, journalists streaming every moment. Inside, the family's perfect facade crumbled live before millions. Even the children sat frozen in the back row, realizing their lives would never be the same again. But the nightmare wasn't over. The judge cleared her throat, flipping through the document. "Clause 7, she read. "If any beneficiary conceals assets or debts, their claim is void. Criminal action may follow if deception is proven." The sound of hearts breaking filled the air. Janelle's pen dropped. Her eyes glistened. "Did you ever think it would come to this, Cody?" she whispered. Cody's attempt at confidence faltered. "We're family. We'll make it through this." His voice cracked on the word family. The judge called a 10-minute recess. Lawyers swarmed the Browns' table, whispering strategies in hushed panic. Christine slid a folder toward Janelle. Janelle's hands shook as she read the numbers. "Where did you get this?" she asked. Christine smiled sadly. "Remember that shoebox Cody told us never to touch? I opened it." Mary reached across the table, placing a hand on Christine's shoulder. For the first time in years, unity flickered among the wives. Robyn sat apart, pale, wide-eyed, her gaze fixed on Cody. "Is there more?" she mouthed. He couldn't meet her eyes. When the recess ended, the tension was suffocating. The bailiff's gavel brought the court back to life. The judge spoke firmly. "This court will not tolerate secrets. Every truth will surface." Then, from the back of the room, a voice rose. "Your Honor, I need to say something." It was Logan Brown. The courtroom turned to him, the oldest child of the empire his father built. His voice trembled. "I don't know where the money went, but I know Mom, Christine, asked about it for years. Every time Dad would tell her, 'You don't need to know. Just trust me.'" He paused, shaking. But we all knew something was wrong. Mary's tears fell freely. "Thank you, Logan," she whispered. The judge nodded gravely. "Bravery like that deserves recognition." She turned to Cody. "Mr. Brown, do you wish to respond?" Cody stood, bristling. "Yes, I do. I built this family from nothing. I made sacrifices for them. Maybe I made mistakes, but everything I did was for the family." Christine rose again, voice sharp. "Were those hotel rooms for the family, Cody? The jewelry? The trips you couldn't explain?" Cody's fist clenched. "That's none of your business." The gavel slammed like thunder. "In this court, Mr. Brown, everything is the business of the estate." The courtroom went dead silent. Even the walls seemed to hold their breath. Robyn broke down, finally whispering, I never wanted this. I just wanted to protect us. Cody, please. Tell the truth. But Cody said nothing. His silence was louder than confession. Christine spoke one last time. Your Honor, I'm not after money. I'm after answers. For myself. For my children. For all the years we were kept in the dark. Janelle nodded, eyes shining. We deserve the truth. The judge's pen scratched across her notepad. Then that's what this court will find. No more secrets. Not if any of you want a future. As the session closed, reporters outside screamed into their cameras, "Explosive new revelations from the Brown estate trial." Hidden accounts, secret debts, and betrayal exposed in open court. Inside, the Browns stood motionless, drained, defeated, and divided. Cameras flashed as they stepped into the gray October light. Whatever family they once were was gone. Tomorrow, the audit would begin, and this time the truth wouldn't just come out. It would destroy everything left standing. The storm had finally arrived, not outside, but within those courthouse walls. The world was demanding answers, and the Browns were out of places to hide. Christine stood tall as the crowd parted for her. Beside her, Janelle walked with quiet strength, arms linked. Mary followed close behind, dabbing her tears but holding her chin high, a woman rediscovering her fire. And behind them trailed Robyn, eyes wide, face pale, drowning in fear. But Cody walked alone. Every flash of the camera caught the man behind the myth, the father who built his empire on trust, now surrounded by the ruins of his own lies. Outside, thunder rolled across the dark sky. Inside, the second day of trial began beneath the pounding rain, as if the heavens themselves were bearing witness. The judge entered with authority, her robes sweeping the air. "Bring in the expert witness," she commanded. "Let's get the audit underway." The doors opened, and in walked a woman whose presence could silence an army. Dr. Eliza Warren. State forensic accountant? Her voice cut through the room like a blade. "My job," she said, adjusting her glasses, "is simple. Track the money." One click, and the courtroom screens lit up. Bank statements, transfers, receipts, every number, every date, a confession written in digits. "We begin with 2015, Dr. Warren announced. Over $200,000 withdrawn in cash, unexplained, repeated every year near the holidays, and again in spring." The audience gasped. "The funds were moved into a secondary account," she continued, "registered under Robyn Brown's name, but controlled by Mr. Cody Brown." Robyn froze. "That was an emergency fund?" she stammered. Cody shot her a glare, but it was too late. Dr. Warren pressed forward. From that account, payments were made to luxury hotels, jewelry stores, high-end car rentals, none listed as family expenses, some in cities where the Browns have never done business. Christine's voice rose, trembling with fury. "Those were your business trips, Cody? You lied. You told us you were securing opportunities for the family." Cody's jaw locked. "You don't understand. I was protecting us!" The judge slammed her gavel. "You will speak when addressed, Mr. Brown." Dr. Warren turned another page. "We also discovered regular deposits made to an account under one of the Brown children's names. This could indicate an attempt to conceal funds." Gasps swept through the courtroom. Children in the back row clutched each other's hands, eyes wide with fear. Christine's voice broke. "Casinos? Jewelry? Hidden accounts? While we begged for grocery money?" Mary stood abruptly. "All those years we went without, while you gambled away our trust." Cody rose, defensive. "You don't know what it's like to carry this family. The pressure, the eyes, the weight of it all." But the judge wasn't swayed. Intentions do not excuse deceit. This court will uncover the truth. Then came the twist, a knock at the door. The bailiff stepped forward with a sealed envelope. "New evidence, Your Honor, from the state investigator." The judge tore it open, reading silently as her expression darkened. "There are flagged offshore transfers," she declared, "to accounts in the Cayman Islands and Switzerland. The figures match missing funds from the Browns' estate." The courtroom erupted. Reporters leapt to their feet. Robyn went pale, almost collapsing. Christine steadied herself on the table, disbelief painted across her face. Even Janelle, usually calm, was trembling. "Offshore accounts?" she whispered. "Cody, what have you done?" Cody's voice cracked. "I thought it would keep us safe. If anything happened, I wasn't stealing, I swear." But no one believed him now. The judge's tone went ice cold. "All international banking records will be subpoenaed." If criminal conduct is proven, this case will be referred for prosecution. Cameras clicked. Headlines were already blazing online. Sister wives scandal, hidden accounts, casino spending, and offshore transfers exposed. Christine broke the silence. "We have to tell the children," she said softly. Her voice carried the weight of every year she spent living in the dark. The gavel struck again. Court adjourned for now. But the truth? The truth had only just begun to rise. Because what was done in the dark was finally coming to light. And the Browns' empire, once built on faith and family, now trembled on the edge of destruction. On the edge of destruction. Today's story opens in a courtroom where silence weighs heavier than the verdict itself. Janelle's voice cracked through the tension. "We have to do this together, even if it destroys us." Tears streaked her face, but her resolve was steel. Mary trembled beside her. "If trust is gone, what else do we have left?" The judge called for recess. Cameras flashed. Reporters swarmed. "Did you know about the secret accounts? Is the family over?" They shouted. For the first time in years, the Browns said nothing. Their silence was louder than confession. Inside, Dr. Warren gathered her files. The investigation was far from over. More witnesses, more documents, more truth. And as the Browns disappeared into the cold night, one thing was certain: nothing would ever be the same again. Courtrooms can feel like stages, but this wasn't a performance anymore. It was a reckoning. Day 3 began under gray skies. America held its breath. Christine's eyes were swollen. Janelle scribbled aimlessly in her notebook. Mary sat rigid, her lips pressed tight. Robyn clutched her phone, whispering prayers between sobs. And Cody, his coffee trembled in his hand. The judge's gavel cracked the air. "This court is called to order." Then came the twist no one expected. The doors swung open, and in walked a man from Cody's past. Samuel Hayes, his former business partner. Cody's face drained of color. Robyn gasped. Christine and Janelle exchanged knowing looks. Samuel's voice shook as he took the stand. "I was Cody's partner for 10 years, until he made me create fake invoices, ghost clients, and shell corporations. I thought I was protecting the family. But the money, hundreds of thousands, went straight into accounts only Cody and Robyn controlled." Cody shot up. "That's a lie." Samuel's glare cut through him. "You used me, Cody, and you made me your scapegoat." The courtroom erupted. The gavel thundered again. Samuel pulled out a folder, trembling. Emails, transfers, proof. I was scared, but not anymore. Cody looked broken. "I just wanted to save the show. The family. If the world saw us as greedy, we'd lose everything." Janelle slammed her notebook. "No, Cody, you didn't save us. You betrayed us." Robyn sobbed. "I trusted you." Headlines buzzed across phones. Brown family fraud exposed. Courtroom chaos. Then another voice rose from the gallery, an accountant from their company. "Your Honor, I have copies of documents I was told to destroy." The judge nodded solemnly. "You did the right thing." Outside, rain battered the courthouse steps. Inside, the Browns sat hollowed out. But amid the wreckage, something shifted. Christine whispered, "We need to tell the kids everything." Mary added, "It's not too late. If we let go of the lies." Robyn joined, shaking but brave. "I don't want to live in fear anymore." By the next morning, the world was waiting. TV vans lined the streets. Fans crowded the steps. It was the final day. The end, or maybe the beginning. The judge entered. Over $900,000 was hidden through fraudulent transfers, she read. Funds moved by Mr. Brown, sometimes with Mrs. Robyn Brown's assistance. Gasps filled the room. Cameras flashed. Dr. Warren's voice hardened. A child's account was also used to conceal assets. That has been referred to the district attorney. Robyn broke down. "I didn't know." Cody whispered, "I was wrong." Then came the final blow. Mary stepped forward with an envelope. "This truth has haunted me for years," she said. The judge opened it. "A DNA test. One child's biological father is not Mr. Cody Brown." Silence. Cody turned pale. "Why didn't you tell me?" Mary's voice cut like glass. "Because you never listened. You were too busy hiding your own secrets." The judge spoke softly. "This family has endured pain, but today marks a new chapter. The estate will be settled, the fraud repaid, and the law will watch every step." And then relief. No prison, no handcuffs. Just the crushing weight of truth. As the Browns left the courthouse, reporters screamed questions. Christine turned to them all and said firmly, "We write our own story now. No more lies. That night, in a small rented home, they shared pizza and silence. No cameras. No pretense. Christine raised her glass. May we never be afraid of the truth again. For the first time in years, they laughed. Together, bruised but free. Sometimes the truth doesn't destroy a family. It sets it free. And for the Browns, this wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. This wasn't the end. It was only the beginning.